There we go.
You only get up to 5th level spells.
Just read just that. There we go.
You get there beforehand, but you don't get past 45.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Galaxy RPG on Twitch. In another episode of the Songs of Arddor. As you can see, we have a new party member. Say hi to Meg, everybody. Last we left off,
Oh yeah, you can be hurt.
the party had interrogated the corpse. Thank you for that. The party had used Speak with Dead to interrogate the corpse of one of the Shrikes, and found out that they were being commanded by Thrandir, a former traveling companion of at least Thurbrus and Feyre. Then the Shrikes straight up fucking attacked the Verdant Halls, burning houses and attacking just random personnel. Ulfirth Amdrinson, one of the members of the Green Council, was killed.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rest in peace, my dude. Had died seemingly at least a couple days prior. And you guys found and rightly murdered Thrandir. I think Feyre did like 80-something damage on a crit smite. Something like that.
Yeah.
And right before we finished, you guys saw a figure in dark robes and dark armor marching across the bridge towards the main meeting hall for the council. And used chain lightning on a bunch of the local guards and fried like 6 guys at once before Galadier the Wise, the leader of the Green Council, arrived to hold him off and told you all to head towards the vaults to retrieve the Void Scroll that you guys had recovered from the horde of Vahone, the dragon in Hallenwick. But we're not going to pick up right there. We're going to pan down through the clouds to snowy mountain peaks, the Starfall Mountains. Halia, you've been trekking for about a day and a half to reach the summit of Starfell Peak, which your people believe to be cursed, and as any hot-blooded Half-Ork worth their salt would do, you're going there to try and prove yourself and see what's what. So you're about...
What's the name?
Halia. It's Halia, correct? If I'm remembering off the top of my head. I know you need it for the notes.
Yeah, thank you.
You're about 20 minutes from the summit when you start to hear some kind of motion around you. It's snowing, not heavily, but enough that it is loosely obscuring vision. So give me a perception check.
Not 11.
11? Okay. It's not too difficult. It takes you a minute when you start seeing shapes kind of moving through the snowfall. And you see 3 wolves. Which usually you would not be too worried about wolves. Your people have a special relationship to wolves. But as they get closer, you see these wolves are different. Usually the wolves at like such a high altitude, white to gray fur, and I mean there's not any lack of food here, so usually they're pretty well fed. These wolves look gaunt and all have black fur, and you see the eyes almost look sunken and burn like low embers, and they are not friendly looking. So starting off hot, I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
Damn, straight off the bat.
13.
Okay. Pull up the stats for the wolves.
I'm gonna have to kill 3 wolves. Is the first thing that I do.
Okay. Here's my new dice. Get them out of this stupid little box. Fuck. Here we go. Okay, one of them rolled good. The other 2 rolled real shitty. So the first wolf is going to go first. He's going to go in for a bite. I'm assuming a 6 does not hit you. Okay, so you are able to deftly move out of the way, and then it's your turn.
Okay. First, could I roll a perception check, or my Arcana's not great, but could I do something to see if they're like magical or if they're just really janky looking?
Yeah, give me a either a perception check or an Arcana check. The Arcana check is a lower DC, but the perception check you probably have a better stat.
Okay. Perception 12.
12. They don't look magical themselves, but there might be some kind of magic affecting them. You're not 100% sure.
Okay.
Though
I
the
think
one
if
that is
they're attacking.
Yeah, the one that is close to you, now that it's gotten like up in your grill, you can see the fur is like mangy, and you can even see like deep wounds on it that a normal wolf wouldn't be able to kind of like just walk around casually with. So there's definitely something weird.
I think in that case, I'll just attack them back.
Alright, go for it.
Oh, jeez. That's going to be a 12 to hit on the first one.
12 hits.
And an 11 to hit on the second one.
11 does not hit.
Okay. Okay, that's gonna be 10 damage.
Okay. 10 damage. So the wolf that jumped up at you, you kind of dodge out of the way. First swing goes a little wide, but then you bring it down, and your axe cuts through a little bit easier than you were expecting. And as it does cut when you're expecting blood, it's almost like ash kind of scatters from the wound as you decapitate this wolf. And its body lays there for a moment before itself, the like flesh and fur turns to ash, leaving a skeleton behind. You turn to the other 2, and they kind of growl lowly at you and kind of do that like very like dog kind of like get low to the ground before they scamper back up the mountain. Seems like Bless you. The vibe you're getting is like they were definitely trying to scare you off more than like actually kill you. But without any threats immediately in the vicinity, you're free to continue trekking up the mountain.
Yeah, I'll just keep walking.
Okay. After about 20 minutes, you reach the summit, which is a little bit flatter. The biggest thing you notice, at the very top, there's this massive dead tree that, you know, like, just from, like, rumors and hearsay, your people call the bloodied branches. There's no leaves, it's covered in frost and snow, but it does have, like, around the trunk, it looks like there's a at least twice layered wrap of chain. And then there's another chain hanging from one of the branches that looks almost like a noose. Give me a perception check.
Do you guys do crit fails on skill checks?
No.
Okay. In that case, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 4.
Okay. Yeah, outside of that, it's just snow and rocks. Cutting back to the rest of the party, you guys have rushed down using a mix of your general knowledge of the main hall here in Falinn-Dal and Thurber's. I think you had locate object as well going up. And you make your way to the basement of the main meeting hall. And as you're descending the stairs themselves are kind of like loosely well lit, but the room at the bottom is very well lit. There's light flooding into the stairwell. And when you enter, it is like a oddly triangular shaped room. Like you come in on the flat side and then it just kind of comes to a point across from you. You see multiple like smaller, like almost like they look almost like safety deposit boxes embedded in the floor. And then on either of the other two walls that the stairs are not on, two larger vault doors. The two larger vault doors seem to have 5 keys each. You would assume that each of the members of the Green Council has their own personal key that is required to get into the larger vaults. You have Ulfrith's key, though. So you can, with a perception check, find his like little safety deposit box, his own personal little vault.
I can do that.
What if someone were to cast knock on it?
You don't know? You can try.
You want to cast knock on this?
Does anyone have knock?
No.
I'm a ranger.
That's
What was that?
30.
Damn!
Oh,
I got a 19 plus 1 plus 10.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, yeah, doesn't take you any time at all. You're able to find the his little safe. Another big thing about this room that I should have probably led with, there is in the center. You
Dragon.
No, wouldn't that be funny? Roll
Wait,
initiative.
did you say so? This is not the vault room. This is the basement, and you said it's kind of like a triangle.
No, this is the vault
Like-
room. It's not the interior
Yeah.
of the vault itself. It is a triangle. So the stairs come down on one flat wall, and then there's a big vault door on this wall, and a big vault door on this wall, and it comes to a point at the back.
We're in the deposit boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those two bigger vault doors require all 5 keys to open.
Okay.
So in the center of the room, you all have seen one of these before. Though this one is alive, a fanewood tree. Not a big one,
It's
But
in the basement.
it seems like there's a chandelier hanging from the ceiling that has 5. It seems like magical candles, and then in the center, the hell are they called? I think it's called an astrolabe. Those things, like you see them in the Game of
The
Thrones
spinny
intro.
things?
Yeah.
Spinny things? Yeah.
In the center of it, somebody has seemed to have cast like a persistent daylight spell in order to allow the tree to flourish underground.
Actually, daylight is not daylight.
For the purposes of
magical
growing
tree.
a tree.
Also, it's a magical tree. It's a
yeah.
magical tree. It's a magical tree.
I was gonna take
Also, I'm God, so shut up.
Yeah,
Is one of the
idiot.
magical candles extinguished?
One of the candles is extinguished.
Dude, I was
Big brain.
thinking the same thing.
But
Tyler loves this number 5 too much.
but yeah, so it is like this. Looks like a cherry blossom tree, but the bark, it has the texture of bark, but it's the color of silver, metallic, and then the leaves
What kind of
themselves,
tree did you say it was?
a fanewood tree,
Okay.
yeah, and then the leaves are gold.
How pickable are these 5 super locks?
You could try.
Well, I've got the key for one of them.
I will say, Goodfellow.
Yeah, how intricate does the key look? Because the key looks pretty intricate. Then that kind of gives me a
The
good
key
basis
looks
on how.
the key looks pretty intricate.
Okay.
You see that the actual
We should probably just open up Ulforth's deposit box.
So the thing with the key, the actual like teeth of the key
Mm-hmm.
seem to be enchanted in a way. Like you can see seams next to each tooth. It
Oh,
seems
so
like
it's a
the tooth
moving
could
key?
move, and you know that keys like this would be used for like those gnomish clockwork locks that constantly
Okay.
change their. You don't know if there's also like wards and stuff magically put on them.
Yeah.
But that's what it seems like with at least the key.
Okay.
So
And that's the
Goodfellow.
deposit boxes.
Oh, the deposit boxes too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They use the same key. It's just the vault doors require all 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodfellow, as you step into the room, like you can still hear, even though it's muffled,
Mm-hmm.
the combat and slaughter that's going on above ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel, despite being who knows how many, miles, they're not miles, but like you're pretty deep underground at this point. You feel a breeze kind of push past you.
Secret tunnel.
In what
No.
direction?
It is
Oh.
it is strange. It starts warm and then it gets cold and then it goes back to warm.
Mhm.
It seems to envelop you and feels almost ghostly, as if someone was embracing you from behind.
Oh.
And
I
you
don't
feel
like that.
kind of
Why'd
just
you
like
say it like that?
gently guide you to the tree in the center of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Your passive perception is 90.
It is.
You see on the tree there is a score mark. It looks like it has been cut. It looks almost straight. It's got a little bit of jagged to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something about like this breeze that's consistent. Like nobody else feels it. It's just Goodfellow. And you can feel almost like a whisper on the wind that is telling you to use the bright blade on the tree.
Okay.
If you want, you
now,
can give me an insight or a religion roll if you'd like.
These trees are, fey in nature, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't notice any kind of weird, funky things going on.
No. I mean, you
I guess
you would
besides
probably
me slowly walking
Yeah.
over to the tree and touching it.
you would
I'm not
see
gonna-
Goodfellow
I'm-
almost in like a not like a trance-like state, but definitely like almost like enthralled by the tree.
Dude, that's who those girls saw. Fucking the tree. It was Goodfellow.
Yep.
Goodfellow the whole time.
Goodfellow is the OSU tree fucker.
That's terrible. I feel like if I whisper at the tree, it just makes it weirder. So, I'm gonna drop my disguise so I can be as fully in tune with Mother Nature as possible.
Okay. You both see Goodfellow drop his dwarven disguise, and he's now in full goblin mode.
I'm
He's
going
He's
goblin.
going goblin mode.
Yeah. I'm
Is,
gonna
are-
unsheath.
Goblins are fey. Are you humanoid or are you fey?
I'm goblinoid. I'm
Which is
goblinoid. Ah!
Which is humanoid? Okay, I wasn't sure if you had if your creature type was fey.
I'm
or not.
humanoid.
No,
I'm
they have
humanoid
fey
and
ancestry,
goblinoid.
though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have fey ancestry. So I'm just like an
Feyre
elf.
also has fey ancestry.
Exactly. I'm just like an elf.
Maybe you guys are siblings.
I said this. That's why I'm saying your father was actually, my mother.
Goblins hermaphroditic.
Close enough. Anyways, yeah, I'm sticking the bright blade in the tree.
Okay. So you bring the bright blade out and do almost kind of that like fencing salute, and then you just slowly drag it down this seam, and you see as it drags down, it leaves this line of scintillating green energy, almost like 6 feet tall, and then it rips open and leaves behind a 6 foot tall, about 3 foot wide, glowing green portal in the trunk of this fanewood tree.
So the hole.
Yeah.
Like
you guys are able to open up Oferth's vault right as he's walking up to the tree. Inside you find the scroll tube that contains the void scroll. And you also find like a little pouch of like 500 gold pieces.
Damn, it's not even in the like main vault door.
Nope.
It's just
This is like his spending
sitting
money.
in the deposit. No, I mean the void
The
scroll
void
is
scroll.
not. I mean, he's dead. He's not using that money. How much gold is it?
It's 500 gold.
I believe that to be a fake void scroll, and you are being duped.
Well, I think we should take the money with and split it because we're going to use that on our travels as a part of the Green Council. So, in a way, we're benefiting the Green Council.
The other lockbox is in here. Correct, Tyler?
I noticed the portal opening, right?
Oh yeah, as you guys retrieve this stuff from the lockbox, you
Yeah,
look
I'm
over your
gonna be like,
shoulder.
"Dude, what the fuck is up with that?"
Yeah, you see him finishing up dragging the blade down the trunk, and you see, and it does sound like, it almost sounds like the breaking of tree branches as this line rips open into a 3 foot wide portal.
I am going to spell slot cast detect magic.
Okay. Look up to see what exactly.
Are there different kinds of portals?
Dude, I'm Goblin Wreck. Wow.
Okay.
It is conjuration you're picking up from the portal.
Is there anything? I mean, the daylight would be giving off whatever
The
daylight is.
the
And then
daylight and the candles are all giving off transmutation, I would think.
I don't
It's
know.
either that or evocation. And
I
then
think transmutation.
all of the lockboxes are giving off magic, and the main vault doors are giving off magic.
How many lockboxes are there?
Is the key?
The key is not.
How many lockboxes
Okay.
are there?
There are 5 lockboxes, one for each of the members of the council.
Okay,
So
so
5 lock boxes, and then also the doors have 5 keyholes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So all 5 keys to open the doors, but 1 key to open the lockbox.
yeah, because one's like their personal belonging, and then the other one's like.
I know, but that's
Okay.
why I'm like the void scroll's not in like the main.
I know. That's
key
I'm agreeing with you. I think
vault.
that's weird. I think
Well,
that void scroll's
well,
fake.
Like, I don't know. Maybe he was just like putting it there until he could put it into the void scroll or into the vault.
Now
I
we
guess
have an
he was
important
doing it
decision to
If
make.
not, yeah, all 5 of them aren't together then.
Do I like have any epileptic seizures when I pick up the scroll? Again,
No, there's definitely like, even though you have gotten rid of the like dark black veins from your scar, you do feel this like momentary dull pain from your scar on your arm, but you don't
Alright.
have any like more visions or anything like that.
Is it itself giving off magic?
Oh yeah, it's giving off a lot of magic and magic that you cannot determine the school of.
It's just fucky magic.
Oh,
Okay.
What's Kira been doing?
Yeah, Kira's with you guys.
All right, now we have an important decision. So, the Green Council, right? The whole valley is being invaded, right?
Oh yeah.
So we are going to lose this vault, right? Like, what we're not getting is being lost to the enemy, correct?
Potentially, I mean, unless Galadier can fight them off.
Unless he can save it all, right? So,
We
would
don't
it be
know.
in
We
our
don't, like,
best
through the portal,
interest
right?
for the
Like,
Green Council to
Sarah-
take the deposit boxes with us through the portal?
So the
Can you
boxes
take
are
the whole box.
they
locked?
are built into the ground.
Oh, they're built. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought they were like
Good thing
thrown
I've
on the
got
ground.
mold earth.
Pharaoh wants to give a little prayer in support of Galadier in hopes that somehow it will help him to overcome what he is facing somehow.
Okay. I don't know if you already have inspiration, but you can take inspiration for that. Al, just to let you know, as you kind of create this portal in the tree,
Mm-hmm.
you see the bright blade does have like a blue gemstone on either side of the hilt in the crossguard. It does kind of subtly start to glow, and you feel almost as if something has awakened within the bright blade. And I'm going to send you something on Discord. This is in addition to what it has already.
Okay.
We can't see through this green Rick and Morty portal, right?
What you see immediately is seemingly a pathway of grass and stone extending from where the portal meets the ground here in the basement.
It doesn't look like a environment that I'm familiar with, does it?
No.
Wait, so if Thurgris and Pharaoh already have inspiration, can Goodfellow take the inspiration?
Sure. It's a pool.
It's pool. It's pool.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hold on. So.
We should go through the portal because they're coming to where we are now, and they're just going to keep coming to where we are now.
Yeah, we should get out of here.
Okay.
I'm gonna. My hammer's not going crazy, is it?
I'm gonna
No.
bow them through the portal.
Is my sword glowing?
Sword is celestial, fiend, or undead, so no.
Yeah, we should go through the portal. I should throw a rock into the portal.
The portal explodes.
I'm kidding. No, we should for real go through there now.
Man comes through the portal. Leon comes through the portal. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I think I know the interpretation of this, Tyler. But.
Am I putting my bag
Yes.
holding?
No, I know what you mean now.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
say, as long as the tree still is giving off any kind of magic. If it is
Are we
fully
putting
devoid of
them on
power,
the roll?
it can't use it.
Fuck you. Absolutely not.
And obviously, you have to
Bitch over
know
here
the
said
tree.
he fight for gold for
We
himself.
can't split 500 3 ways.
Kira's there too.
Here's there too.
Oh, alright, fine.
How many
I think it's 125 gold,
charges
fine.
does it have?
It's not charges. It's once per day.
No, that's top.
Oh, that. 3 charges.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go through the portal first.
I'll go next.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send out another little prayer to Edenial because who knows when
Oh,
I'll see
shit.
her next. My girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss her. I'm
So
gonna miss her.
you guys step through the portal. And as you step through and the portal closes behind you, the ground you stand upon is a floating walkway of stone and grass. And all around you, you see Thurberus. It actually almost reminds you of the Void. It's kind of like darkness with like miasmal energy kind of just like swirling through it. Except here, it's kind of changes between like greens and purples and blues with little flecks of gold. And you see other walkways kind of spiraling. If you could almost imagine like how in Ahsoka they showed the world between worlds. But instead of like glowing walkways, it's like actual stone and grass.
Got it.
Um,
I'm assuming Goodfellow comes through the portal. Goodfellow, is this the Fey Realm?
Why would I take you to the Fey Realm?
This is Goodfellow. You would know this is not the Fey Realm, but this is. You've never been here yourself. This is what is called the Fainway. It is the pathways between the Fainwood trees.
Oh, right. I forgot that they were
Okay, so this
fast
is like the
travel.
subway.
Kind of.
Okay, we're in the
You
metro
see
right
some
now.
guy sleeping on a random floating island, like over there.
Yeah, you see some homeless
Yeah,
elf
that's like-
pissing on a mailbox.
It's fucking
Mailbox?
Like, a dance show.
Yeah, like a modern day mailbox, just is floating in the void here.
Are these all like intertwined, or are they all like, straight in one direction?
It
It's
seems
like a
like
tree. It's
there
like
are
roots.
there are some that kind of like very kind of spider web out. Other ones where the pathway has been broken and splintered. And some that just seem to be existing on their own, like off in the distance. And you guys continue on the path. Halia, as you've reached the summit and you're kind of like looking around, you hear what sounds like the breaking of branches as this green glowing line appears on the trunk of the tree and rips open and then just sits there as this like open glowing doorway in the trunk of this dead tree.
I think Hallie is probably expecting another round of wolves, so she like prepares to attack.
Okay. So you ready yourself for whatever might come through. The rest of you, after you've been walking for a little bit, you reach the pathway kind of expands out into like a circle, and you see this massive dying fanewood tree at the center of this island. And at the foot of it, you see a portal open in the trunk. But there's also seems to be the remnants of, like, it looks almost like a camp. Like there's a ring of stones that someone would use for a campfire. There are like the refuse that you would leave behind after eating a meal. But it's hard to tell how old it is, just at a glance.
You're telling me they littered in the Feywild? These fucking dickheads.
Listen, Smokey the Owlbear hasn't been, invented yet.
I'm furious. Goodfellow is pissed off. That's not true. People can travel through this all they want. Well, they should pick up after themselves. Maybe he is pissed. It's like hikers' rules.
Oh, it takes hours.
Well, I guess we're gonna go through that portal though. After you guys.
Yeah, I was thinking about using plant growth near / on the tree, but that would be the 8-hour version of plant growth, and I don't think we have 8 hours to cast plant growth.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but
I'll come back.
Halia just stands outside this portal and just stays open for 8 hours.
It's gotta be a good camping spot.
It's like
This
this
other person
Skyrim
thought
waiting
so.
thing where you just have the weight bar like.
You cannot wait while there's enemies nearby.
Yeah.
As you get close,
Single fucking crab on the floor.
as you get close to enter the portal, you see on like a broken branch, pretty close by to where the portal opened, there seems to be a it almost looks like a traveling cloak that is hung from one of the branches, from that like broken branch. Green cloak, and you notice, though it's older in style, a very similar green council brooch pinned to the cloak.
I'm not going to disturb that, but
Oh, this will look great for an outfit. What do you mean?
Do any of you touch the cloak?
I'll touch it.
was it giving off? I mean, I'm sure that detect magic is going off like fucking crazy right now.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much that like if you spent like hours in a dark room and then stepped outside, like you step through the portal and you're like, fucking Jesus Christ.
I'll roll a concentration save. Why not?
I'm touching it.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh man, you fucked with the wrong dude.
I am no longer concentrating on detect magic. It was a little too crazy for me. I rolled
19.
a 2. I mean, I got an 8, but
That's
19,
hilarious.
19.
Okay. So you can actually make sense of this then. So you touch the cloak,
Mm-hmm.
and to you, like you touch it and you blink, and the environment is just slightly different. The camp is now no longer like old and decrepit. The campfire is burning. There's a little almost like a wooden like folding stool set up. And you look around. You're alone, but you get almost like flashes of memory that you are here looking for your mentor, a man named Altheon.
If Alpheon is an elf, I'll be very disappointed in you, Tyler.
oh, is this like a memory shard except it's a cloak?
Alpheon. Alpheon.
It's not Altheon. It's Authion.
Oh. Wait.
Altheon.
Oh, Alteon.
Yeah. Well, it's
There's
a
no
th. It's a th. It's a th. But yeah.
Okay. Altheon. Altheon.
So you're here in pursuit of your mentor, who has been researching these, Fanewood trees for years, but he's gotten paranoid over the past year or two, and has been kind of become a hermit. and you saw him kind of leave his chambers in the middle of the night, come down here and disappear into the tree. The rest of you see you see Goodfellow walk up, touch this cloak, and then seem to almost pantomime as if he's like putting away, like breaking down this camp. Like he like stomps out the fire and like kind of mimes putting stuff in a bag that's not there. Before Goodfellow, you like blink and you're back out of it, and you're like not where you were standing when you touched the cloak.
What was that?
What fire were you putting out, bud?
Man, I don't know. Check out my fucking canteen. Someone
What
put
are they
something
calling
in
this
here.
place?
That was some fairy's milk, bro. What the hell?
And there's a portal in the tree.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
we see through this portal?
I don't
was
think
that?
so. I think they're Rick and
Can we
Morty
see
portals.
through this portal?
Yeah. In this one,
Oh, never.
you see stone and snow and not much else because it's hard to see past the layer of snow that's falling.
Does that look like a environment that I'm familiar with?
I mean, it looks like, just from this tiny window you're getting, you've seen a lot of mountains. You're a dwarf. So it definitely seems like a mountaintop. But beyond that, like without getting a greater scope of the surrounding environment, it's hard to tell. Goodfellow, do you say anything to anyone about what you saw?
Well, his name was Altheon.
Altheon, yeah.
Altheon. You guys know an Altheon.
Thurbrus.
That sounds like an elven name.
Thurbrus, you would probably know, because you've
Never
been
mind.
with the Green Council for a bit. Altheon was a former member of the council.
Wait, would I know who that is? I've been in the Green Council for a while.
You've been in it for a while too. I always forget that you've been in it for a while.
I've been in the Green Council for like 100 and change.
I was gonna say he's my mentor, so he's definitely been in it longer than you have.
I've been in it longer than you have.
You probably, Goodfellow, would have at least heard some of this. Altheon was a member of the council.
Okay.
Like the higher ups, like one of the main seats.
So he's a big deal.
And he was a high elven, he was a northern elven wizard, who kind of got a little kooky at the end and then went missing. Like nobody.
So
ever...
would he have been one of the five?
Yeah.
Does that mean did they replace him with a different fifth member?
Yeah. Yeah, there have been multiple different council members over the years.
Do I know which one replaced him, or have there been a few in his spot?
There probably would have been at least one in between, him and the current member. But the one who holds his seat, is Calidor, the kind of almost Snape-looking elf from the Teardrops.
Okay, so he's
Right.
evil.
I am familiar with this guy, and he's weird. Is this his stuff?
No, it's the guy who's looking for him. Who I didn't obviously get a name because he didn't say his own name, right?
No. All you know is that you were his protege. You both could give me a history check if you want, though.
His Ugh. No bueno. 7.
12.
12.
So I say his protege.
Yeah,
But,
you wouldn't really remember the protege.
Mm-hmm.
Thurbrus, you remember him a little bit. You know that he was a half-elf named Gwythor. For the notes, it's Gwaithor.
O-O-R.
and that he was something called. Let me look at my notes so I can get the pronunciation right. He was something called the Gwylir, but you don't know what the hell that means. It's some elven thing.
Say that again.
That he was something like like around that time he was something called the Gwylir, Gwylliwr, but you don't know what that means. Like the name doesn't mean anything to you. It's like it definitely seems elven.
Does it mean anything to the people who speak Elven?
Yeah.
Goodfellow, you're the only one that speaks Sylvan, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she does Farah.
No, I speak
No.
Common, Northern Elvish, Giant,
okay.
Common.
Yeah, I speak
Yeah.
Sylvan.
You and-
Yeah, what does it mean?
Dwarven.
What was that?
I speak 2/3 Dwarven.
You're almost there.
She can read it. She can't write it.
You and
or
Kira
speak
would
it.
be the only ones that know the translation. It translates to Watcher in Sylvan,
And a
and
watcher.
that would
Did it
refer
creep?
to well, no, it would refer to essentially there's this. It's not like a hereditary position. It just kind of like crops up in elven communities. This idea of like an elven oracle who can like see the future. That's supposed to like pop up at times of need to lead the elven people and help them.
You elves are fucking weird.
So that's what
Okay, so
Blackwater
he was a
known
so,
as?
Yes.
so he was a seer.
Yeah, and you both would know that tracks because Altheon was a divination wizard.
Okay, so it makes sense that his protege would be an oracle, because he'd be like, "Look, you don't even have to learn. You got it." Or all the divination wizards oracles.
No, I mean they could be described as oracle with like a lowercase o, but
They're not like born with innate abilities.
no, Gwylir. The Gwylir is like Oracle of Delphi type of thing. It's like you're like a big fucking deal.
Okay.
But yeah, so you guys are passing through the portal.
Yeah. My cloak turns white, obviously. But who wants to go first?
I'll go through the portal first. I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, I bow in front of it.
Nothing happened, and I'll go through this one. And
I opened the portals. You guys can go through them.
Here's a good question, Halia. Were you prepared in like a defensive stance, or were you prepared in a I'm preparing an action to attack anything that comes out of this portal?
No, I think it was just defensive.
Okay, so you're
I was
there.
gonna say every single time Meg's character gets introduced, she just immediately starts killing party members.
I got attacked first, and the other one.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're here for the drama. So you're standing there waiting for like wolves or something to come out of this portal, but you see first a stout, kind of older, blonde-haired dwarf with like a goatee and chainmail step through, followed by two half-elves and another. Have you assumed your normal disguise, Goodfellow?
I probably didn't,
Okay.
but I didn't. I probably don't expect there to be people right in front of the.
I'm actually wearing splint mail, not that it really matters.
Split mail. Fuck, I forgot that you got new armor. So then, yeah, followed up lastly by a little goblin in like it's like leather armor, but it's vaguely like almost jestery.
Well, it's mostly covered up. It's covered up with the cloak,
Yeah.
which is white right now because it's snowing.
But that's what you see. So you can decide whether you what you would do in that scenario.
I assume that this is not something that I've ever seen before.
No.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna ask them. Are you lost?
So from the snow, this voice kind of echoes out, and you see a little bit off to the side, 6'6", burly half-orc woman, with axe brandished, just kind of standing there amongst the cold and the snow.
I worked next to the bulwark. What do I know about half-orcs?
You would know that there are multiple different tribes and clans beyond the bulwark, and that despite what some of the small folk on like the mainland side of the bulwark would think, there's a great bit of difference between, from tribe to tribe. But I mean, the ones you've met, especially ones that would be, sailing the Shattered Coast and stuff up by Istrand. I mean, they're people. I mean, they definitely have a certain level of like warrior culture, where like they respect strength and prowess in combat. But there's definitely a layer of honor to it, more so than the general populace would think.
All right. Then I would probably
Cast Call
immediately
Lightning.
upon sailing this report, present myself with Stormcaller and be like, "Hello, Zuko here."
Yeah, I probably wouldn't prepare myself to attack because we are 4 heavily armed people against one, I guess,
Heavily armed person.
But I don't know. I feel like 4 to 1. I wouldn't
I like
really,
those odds.
prepare to attack. I'd rather talk it out first.
Well, you're behind me anyway. I would
Yeah.
go first.
Does the
where are
portal
we?
close?
Yeah, once you step through, the portal closes behind you.
Okay.
Shit, it's fucking cold.
Oh yeah, you guys are
hello,
freezing.
Where are we?
Give me a perception check.
I think
No,
he's
I would pass
asking.
that, but also I'll give you a perception check.
Where's the name of the mountain, and where is it
So,
and where is it relative to where I'm from?
Starfall Peak is the name of the it's like the highest peak among the Starfall Mountains. They're the ones, if you look on the map I gave you, it's got like a little tree icon at the top. It's at the northernmost point of the map.
So last time I made a perception check, I rolled a 1, a 19, and guidance rolled a 1. And this time on my perception check, I rolled a 1, a 19, and my guidance rolled a 1 again. So 30
Okay.
again, with the exact same fucking rolls.
You take a look around, and it's hard at first to kind of like see through the snowfall, but as you kind of step away from the tree a little bit, you see far off to what you would assume is like your west, this massive, miles-long black stone wall extending. And you would make the good assumption you are currently within the wildlands.
Well. And there's a Fanewood tree behind us.
Yeah.
Is it dead, dying,
It is-
not dying,
It looks
frozen?
definitely frozen. It's covered in frost and snow. There's no leaves on it, and it definitely looks at least slightly withered. And you also see that it's got chain wrapped around the trunk and chain hanging from one of the branches with a noose kind of like bolted into it.
That's not very
That's
good.
weird.
And Thurberus and Feyre, you would immediately recognize this chain looks very similar to the unbreakable elven chain that you guys have.
I'll ask. I don't know if you answered, but where am I? Also, who are you? And what year is it?
We're on Starfall Peak, on the other side of the bulwark.
Do I know that name?
Yeah, you would know that the Starfall Mountains are like there are two like sets of mountains in the north of the Wildlands. Um, the Starfall Mountains are kind of like a big cluster, and then across from Hangman's Cove are I forget what I named them. The Maw. It is like a line of mountains that run along the coast. Yeah, you would know the at least the name Starfall Mountains. They kind of exist directly across the Shattered Coast from Istrand.
Oh, okay, so I would have been, seeing them all the time.
Yeah, at least from a distance.
Okay. Can I see Istrand?
You can see the general direction. I mean, it's a little ways away.
All right. Interesting spot to end up.
There's nothing around us except for the tree, right?
I
Well,
mean, you can give me a
Yeah.
perception check if you want.
21.
Oh yeah. So tree chain. You see, as Thurberus is having this conversation with this half-orc woman, you kind of start like kicking through some of the snow at the base of the tree, and you see two. It's hard to tell because of all the ice and the snow, but skeletons that look like they were at one point chained to the trunk of the tree, and over time, as they've kind of decayed and the bones have kind of fallen apart, they kind of fell through the chain. And then a little ways away, like you can see where there is a loose path that kind of leads up to the tree. And about halfway down the path, like it kind of drops down like 5 feet, kind of like almost like natural steps. A little bit away, like between that and the tree, there's like a giant stone circle in the middle of the path. That as you kind of like kick some of the snow off of it, is manufactured. It's carved. It's not like a natural part of the mountaintop, and you can see Sylvan runes carved into it.
Hey, good fellow, get over here.
Man, I go over there. Aren't
I do have
Faewood
comprehend
trees-
language, but why would I comprehend language and waste it when I can just
Faewood
ask
trees
them
are
what
inherently
language?
Sylvan, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So like, never mind. Never mind. Cause why was there? Where'd you guys get your chain? It was on a different Faewood tree?
No, their chain was like
Oh,
for
we got it at a
sale.
store.
Yeah.
You get it at a store.
You could just buy evil chain.
It's not evil. I mean, it's just unbreakable elven chain. The store they bought it from was like it was like an antique store, but it was strictly stuff that was like recovered from like shipwrecks and stuff because it was in a port town.
Okay. Whatever you say, Fae abuser.
What do I know about the mountain that we're on? Or the mountain that I like want to climb?
What you would know is like the stories that are told that why they're called the Starfall Mountains and why it's called Starfell Peak is that like ages ago, like a meteor crashed down in this. Like some stories say it just crashed down in the mountains. Others say that it was a massive meteor that when it crashed caused the stone to kind of jut up and create the mountains. But that ever since they've been kind of like either cursed or contain dark entities. There's a lot of different stories that go around of like why you shouldn't go there. But over time, like it kind of has become like a loose like rite of passage for like young orcs and half orcs and even some of like the elven tribes that live beyond the wall, the bulwark, to like climb to the top of the mountains or climb to some of the like smaller peaks, just so they can be like, "Hey, I made it back."
I would know about these rumors too, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah,
At least vaguely, not necessarily as.
yeah.
So,
What else?
good
I
fellow.
don't really know what the tree.
What was that?
I don't really know like what this tree is, or I wouldn't have known before coming.
Give me a history roll.
Sarah, what are you asking, Goodfellow?
If he can read the runes for me.
Can I read the runes?
I can't read. so much.
16.
So, the extent of what you would know about the tree is it's very important to a lot of the elven tribes that live in these lands, like almost like religious significance, and that like some of them do make like pilgrimages to the top of the mountain to like pray at the tree. But they're all very like hush hush about like their rituals and what the tree is or what it means. So you would just know that it does have like sacred standing amongst the elves. Goodfellow, you step up to this like stone circle, and it's just the same 4 words kind of repeated along the edge of the circle. That translate to Cage of the Blinded.
What? The blinded?
That seems ominous.
Cage.
Maybe I should touch it.
Cage of the blinded.
I'll stay
Does
with
that-
the half-orc while
does
they're
that
going to
mean-
read these runes.
Does that mean anything?
Not that you're aware of.
Yeah. Yeah, what does she know about this?
Do I know anything?
You've never heard of it.
Is there nothing else around the stone circle? Nothing in the middle? It's like the stone circle, like the runes are carved on the stone, or are the runes carved like in the middle of it?
The runes are carved around like the edge, all along the edge of the circle. As you step up, there is like a slight mounding of snow, kind of towards the center, and as you wipe it off, there is like a stone lever at the center.
Cage of the blinded.
I should pull that fucking lever.
Hold on, before you pull it.
I love having a player that pushes the big red button. It's great.
Hold on, before he pulls it, before he does that though, we all gotta stand on this. We all gotta stand on it.
Already.
Yeah, I'm not trying to stand on it if someone's gonna fucking pull the lever.
If he's
But
pulling the
before
lever,
we pull
I'm
the
standing
lever-
on it. If he dies, I die.
It's actually like a big cartoon platform. You pull the lever, and there's a giant spring underneath the stone, and it just
Oh, it's
shoots
just
you
gonna go
off the mountain.
Well, I was gonna say before we pull the lever, we should probably figure out what this half-orc is doing here and what her name
You
is.
should make her pull the lever. Why are we pulling the lever?
Hey, you new kid, pull the lever.
I would
the
have
right
been
of
staying and
initiation.
chatting with the half-orc because
I'll give you this guy's cloak if you pull the lever.
So I just watched 3 people come out of the portal, and 2 of them just immediately walked past me and started messing with the tree.
Yeah, technically 4 people. There is what looks like the other half elf is like a 13-year-old girl.
That's my half
Is she
sister.
messing with the tree too?
She is kind of like she sees that they kind of go over to the stone and kind of gives a look to you, Thurbrus, of like, do you want like backup here or?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I'm not unaccustomed to this area. I've never been actually past. I've heard of being past the bulwark, so that's good enough. I would know that you were probably up here to do your rite of passage, and I mean, once you don't immediately attack us, I assume that you're probably not going to keep or rather that you're going to keep not attacking us.
She's just waiting for a moment to strike.
I know. I am going to hang out and just chit chat essentially.
I'll address. I'm sorry. What's your character's name?
Cerberus.
Cerberus. I'll address him in Dwarvish and just ask, like, did you mean to come here? You guys seem lost.
That's surprising that the orc speaks Dwarven. That's cool though. I'll respond in Dwarven. We're not lost. But we were also not expecting to come here per se. So I guess technically we are lost.
We're not lost, except for the fact that we are lost.
We meant to go through a portal. We just didn't necessarily know what was going to be on the other side of it. But I'm actually, I lived over there for like a few hundred years.
If you meant to,
I can speak third Dwarven,
You can
okay?
hear a couple of words we're
Actually.
saying.
if you meant to teleport to one of the civilizations or one of the ports, you're pretty far off. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
That's
We didn't-
not necessarily a bad thing.
Are we like trying to lie to her?
I'm
Like, we
I'm
can just
not
say
trying to
we
that
kinda-
we're on the run. Is what I'm trying to do. Is
We're not on
say
the
that we're
run.
on the
We're
run.
not on the run though.
I'm not necessarily lying. I'm
I
just
feel
not
like-
gonna say
No,
that we're
but you're
on the
just
run.
being weird about it, being like we went through a tree and now we're here. Like, what do you like?
I mean, I feel like we can tell her
The whole
that.
situation's weird. What do you want from me?
I mean, we're a group of four oddly, like it's just like a group of four odd. It's just an
Well,
odd group.
we're all wearing a cloak.
Well, I know, but it's still an odd group to come.
We're
across.
far away from home. Where's closest civilization?
I feel like we should tell her that we're a part of the Green Council. I mean,
I
what's
don't
the?
think she's gonna know.
No, because aren't they the people who kind of segregated all their people?
No.
Did they not have a hand? Did they not have a hand in that at all?
No, that was more of a decision made specifically between like the petty kingdoms and a little bit the dwarves of Vesterland, though they're not as much bordering the wildlands. It was more of a human decision to be like, let's keep all the undesirables on the other side of the big scary wall.
Okay, so the Green Council, pro or anti wall?
The Green Council, for as much as you know, most of them, like historically, were opposed to kind of segregating the like orcs outside of like certain groups, like the Rygweir, who like were very much like, if we stay in your lands, we're gonna fucking kill you guys. Like most of them, like there are human tribes beyond the bulwark, but most of them were like people, like refugees from the fall of Aremia, that were like, we're not abandoning our like elemental gods. We're not going to abandon worshiping the archons. Like, we want to continue to live our way of life. So like we're going to stay here.
Okay.
Do I know what the Green Council is?
You've probably heard of it. On this side of the wall, the best you would know is it's like some kind of like secret society in the mainland.
It's not real. Is it possible to get past the bulwark?
I mean, there's a good
That I
chance
know
you could roll up to one of their gates and flash your brooch and be like, "Hey, I'm part of the Green Council. Let me through." There would probably be,
I probably know where the nearest gate is anyway.
yeah, there would definitely be, like, you have options. Like, you could try and find a boat and sail across the Shattered Coast into Vesterland. You could head down to Port Orem and sail from there across the Bay of Dawn.
Then we have another way.
Yeah, you could wait a day and just let Goodfellow try and figure out his sword.
You give me a day.
I'm not. It's fucking cold. I'm not staying
We
on
can
the.
go to we can go to civilization and then we can come back.
Yeah. How far is your tribe from here? unnamed orc.
Yours would be ways away. You're from. I wish I could keep all of these things in my brain all at once. It would be really nice. Dun.
I'm from Port Oram. On the map that you gave me is like
Yeah.
basically the other end of,
Yeah,
of
well,
where we
yeah, your tribe would now be in Cragtide, which is the lands that were kind of given to your father to become like lord of, but that is like right next door to Port Oram. It's south, like right on the northern edge of the Bay of Dawn.
Okay, so very far.
If you guys need like, a shelter and like a warm place to figure out whatever's going on, I can take you to the nearest settlement, which is
The nearest one that you've been to would be Baylard, which is like
That
at
would
the
be
southern
very helpful.
point of the mountains.
That would be very helpful. I am not used to this weather anymore.
okay. Am I done with my my task?
I mean, you've come up here to kind of like face whatever darkness is up here. Like it's that kind of thing of like, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna see what's going on, and if there's something to fight, I'm gonna fucking kill it. You came up here and fought one wolf, and then some dudes kind of fell out of a tree.
Can I insight check to see if these guys are part of my quest?
Sure, give me an insight roll.
Hopefully not part of the stabbing portion.
Sorry guys, I failed my roll.
Oh, they're part of your quest, all right.
15.
15? There's definitely a certain it's not a coincidence that like you got to the top of this mountain right as they fell out of a portal in this like dying elf tree. So there's definitely something going on here, kind of fated, tying you to this group of weird assholes.
Hey, she doesn't know we're assholes.
Oh, she'll find out.
Have I ever seen a goblin before? I don't think.
Yeah, she races towards goblins.
Probably not. Like, you've heard rumors that there might be, like, small pockets of, like, goblin tribes in the Wildlands, but you've never personally seen them. They keep themselves very well hidden.
Okay. Well, I think I'll probably introduce myself to Cerberus, because I think the other two are still messing around with the tree.
I would have probably have given my name much earlier, especially when she started speaking Dwarven. So, yes, hello.
Zuko here.
Luco here. Cerberus here. What's your character's, like, full name?
His full name is Halia Skull Cleaver.
Damn, okay. Is there a hyphen there?
Nope. One
Okay.
word. I spell it out for you in Dwarven.
No.
Which definitely perturbs you, Cerberus. Dwarves love the hyphen.
Love what?
The hyphen.
Oh.
Like, Falinn-Dal is a dwarven name, and it is hyphenated like a motherfucker. Like, you've probably seen people spell it without the hyphen, and it's that thing of like...
Like spelling color with OU or something. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, we would love to go somewhere not so cold and at the top of the mountain eat.
Okay. So, Farah and Goodfellow, are you pulling the lever?
Well, I
If
mean,
you don't do it, I will.
I assume that I noticed the lever.
Yeah, Halia, you and Thurbrus kind of turn towards the other two who have kind of very ADHD coded, been like, this is not Carmen. Oh, there's something over here.
I don't give a fuck about orcs.
And you see they have kind of cleared off a good amount of the snow on this big like stone circle, and revealed a like very small, like maybe like half a foot tall pedestal with a stone lever in it. And they're both kind of just yeah, and they're both kind of just standing there, hands on hips, like, "Are you gonna do it?"
Do I recognize the stone?
I'm not even gonna make you make a roll. The stonework of this circle and the lever remind you a lot of the temple that you guys found underground beneath
the other one that I got cursed at already?
Yeah, the one beneath the old grove.
Dude, I don't even need to make a roll. Thurbrus knows fucking rocks, okay?
I guess
I'm also a mason, to be
I'll
fair.
pull the lever. I'm a Sylvan. This is Sylvan Rock.
Okay.
And I'm not blind, so it ain't gonna cage me.
How close is everybody to Goodfellow?
Uh-oh.
How far is the tree from Goodfellow?
Probably
Yeah. By the tree.
like 25, 30 feet.
I suppose I probably would have been
Probably
outside,
20. I'm probably 25 or 20
Oh,
feet
now
from
Farrah's
Goodfellow.
not by my side.
outside
Okay.
the circle.
Okay.
Now she's outside of the circle.
Kira would definitely have been there because she was also examining the runes and like some of the stonework and stuff. 'Cause she's academically minded. So I'm gonna need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw, which shouldn't be too bad because you both are.
Does he give any indication that he's gonna pull the lever, or does he just like
No.
uncover it?
No,
and
I
immediately
just,
go ahead?
well, we've been discussing it, and I just kind of do it.
Okay, I think
Do I have to like make a save, or do our characters just
Yeah.
immediately die?
I rolled a 7, Tyler.
Okay.
Oh, if
That's
you're
the
making a
that's
save,
the lowest I can roll.
if
yeah.
you're making a save, you add a 3 to it from
I got a 10.
Farah's aura of protection.
How far is her
Okay.
aura?
I think 30, maybe 10 feet, maybe 10 feet for now.
How big
Because
is
it
the
is
circle?
it's a 10-foot diameter
It is 10
circle.
feet.
So she would have to be
She
on the
said she's
circle.
just outside the circle.
Okay, she would have to be on the circle. To
You said it's 10 feet in diameter.
diameter, I meant radius. Sorry.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, fuck me.
So-
I mean, I don't think a 10 would have worked anyways.
No.
It's fine.
No, 10 would not have helped. So, Goodfellow, you pull the lever, and you feel the stone circle like sink like 2 inches into the ground,
Mhm.
and it like there's definitely like a grinding noise, and then it sinks another like 5 inches, and then it falls.
The whole
Stone circle.
Uh-oh.
So you are going to take. It's D10s for every 10 feet, right? Or is it D6s?
For falling? No, it's D6.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
It's a D6
It's
every
1
10
D6
feet.
per 10 feet, up to like 20. It's 20 D6, not 20.
he was standing on the circle.
Yep,
Yeah.
Goodfellow and the 13-year-old girl.
Can I try to catch them?
If you're gonna catch anyone, catch the 13-year-old.
Yeah, give me.
Yeah,
you can
I'd
give me a
probably
dexterity
say-
saving throw if you'd like.
You make them with
Can I-
advantage as a barbarian.
Yeah. I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Okay, so yeah, you like
So-
kind of dive belly first onto the ground, and you catch this like 13-year-old girl by the hand as the stone circle drops 20 feet into the ground. Goodfellow, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And the stone circle kind of cracks and breaks as it hits the ground below. And you are currently in some kind of stone cavern.
I would like to cast Goodberry. And snack on some good berries, I guess.
Okay.
My ass is fucked
down there.
up.
Imagine falling 20
Huh?
feet and then like popping open a pack of blueberries and just fucking going down.
I would have thanked it Halia. Okay, yeah, I want to thank Halia for saving Kira.
Yeah, I guess I'll lift her back up over the edge and put her on the ground.
Very easy for you. So, Goodfellow, you're eating some good berries.
Yeah, I'm at the bottom, just.
You said it's only 20 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I can set up some rope. Is there like a cavern in there, or is it just a plain hole?
It is like now that you kind of can look down in, it is a stone cavern that this like circle has fallen down into. What languages do you speak, Goodfellow?
Do I have to say all of them?
Yes, to me.
Okay. Common.
I know the one that you probably don't want to reveal, but
Which one?
the one that starts with F.
Oh, I have another one that starts with E.
What? Excuse me?
And Dwarven.
If it starts with an EL, I swap that one out.
You saw that one out? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you speak Goblin speak, you said, right?
Sure do.
Okay. So in Goblin, you hear a ways off to your right some hushed voices. It's hard to make out like exactly what they're saying, but you can tell very clearly that they are speaking Goblin.
And does it seem like they're alert?
Yeah.
Can I
You
hear
just-
that also?
A big stone just fell to the ground 20 feet.
I go in Goblin. I'm okay.
Give me a deception roll.
Is it because I'm not okay, or because I'm not the
With a 25 passive perception, do I also hear talking?
You definitely hear talking. You don't speak Goblin though, correct?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you don't know what language it is. You just hear some speaking. It's definitely more muffled for you because it's coming from further into the cavern. But then you
I'll
hear.
start setting up. Actually, I don't think I have it. But does somebody have pittons and some rope? I have rope, but not pittons.
I do.
Okay, throw them up. You can throw. You can throw 20
I don't have the
feet.
strength. I don't have that
You
strength.
can throw 60 feet as an improvised thrown weapon can be thrown up to 60 feet.
Yeah, but you didn't go on the platform with me when it fell, like a real one.
Because I was talking to the random person on the random mountain of the portal that we just went through.
That's not you, bud. You should have brought your pins. You should be prepared.
Okay, well I'll tie it to some. I'll tie it to some kind of rock or something.
Okay.
Perhaps a stone of some sort.
I got a 15.
Oh, I have mold earth. I can just
A 15.
embed it into the ground.
Let me make a roll here. Hold on. Insight is wisdom, correct?
Yes. I mean, if they're actual goblins, they've got a -1.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a brief moment
Meg, for
of
reference, Meg is in another group that I run for, and they're doing Lost Mine of Phandelver, and there's a section in which they got into a fight with like 13 fucking goblins or something like that. So I know the entire goblin style.
and you see it in your sleep.
I do. It comes to me in my dreams.
We're still fighting goblins.
Yes, you are still fighting goblins.
They never end, man.
To be fair, they're in like the goblin castle, so like that would be the place that goblins would be, but you know.
You gotta throw them through a loop. You gotta put something else in there. So there's a moment of silence as you respond back in Goblin, and then much louder and much closer, you hear, "All right, well, be careful in there," and then the pitter patter of feet walking away.
Okay.
I would like to descend into the hole.
Okay.
Me as well.
You SEAL Team 6 slide down the rope.
You're welcome to come with us, Halia. We fuckery, it seems.
I think I'm like slightly convinced that this is part of the trial, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Okay.
We're not real.
Yeah, they're all hallucinations, actually.
Damn it, requires attunement.
The portal
I
in
was
the
gonna-
tree opened up and just blew drugs out. I will be right back. I just gotta bring my plate downstairs.
Meg, 7 years is gonna pass, and you're gonna be still with our group. You're gonna be one of the Green Council leaders, and you're gonna still think that this is a part of your trial.
One day it'll
One of my characters' flaws is that she just like sort of blindly follows authority, and so she's just like, yeah, this is part of the trial, so I'm just gonna do everything that these crazy people tell me to do.
You didn't pull that lever when Goodfellow asked you to pull the lever.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's true.
It's because I'm a goblin. Classic goblin racism. This is why I hide behind being a dwarf. You dwarves have a cushy life.
That's okay. I'm listening.
There we go. Alrighty. So,
Tyler, real fast, what languages are not okay? That's faster to say, probably.
yes, that's probably faster to say. I would say the one you did have picked,
Yes.
and that's about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Alright, that
You
works.
picked the one that I'm like, he shouldn't have that.
That was in the list. And I was like,
I know.
it's gonna be
It's just a
funny
list
at
of
some
the
point.
the languages that exist, and I didn't even think about. I should probably leave that off. Let me just pull up the map.
You want to start
for this.
speaking in tongues?
Okay. So now that you're all down at the
Joke's
bottom.
on you, I literally have the tongue spell.
Oh, you have tongues now?
Yeah. I've had it prepared for like 2 levels.
Look out, trees. So now that you're down there, you see.
Welcome to Ohio.
I'll pull up my notebook with my notes for the dungeon. What's everybody's passive perception?
14.
25.
19.
Okay. So The only people over 15 are Thurbrus and Goodfellow, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you both notice that the stone platform here was at one point like affixed to. I froze. God damn it.
Yep.
And
Stone platform here.
I fucking reset my computer before this, hoping it would fix it. So you see that the stone platform was at one point affixed to a set of chain and pulleys, but the chains seem to have been broken. Thurbrus, you're the only one with a high enough passive perception.
Sorry, this is another goblin chain elevator?
It's not. It doesn't look goblin made.
Dude, this is me playing Dark Souls.
It's definitely.
No, I know, but we Feyre and I, when we went into that well thing, encountered another goblin elevator with chains.
Yeah.
They love How else are you gonna make an elevator, Eduardo? Rope? You want it to be a rope elevator?
Steel cables. I guess steel cables are arguably chains, but
So it's a chain elevator that failed.
Yes. That's what all Thurbrus and Goodfellow, you both notice that the chains have been broken.
Wow, no shit. The elevator's broken.
Goodfellow, or not Goodfellow, Thurbrus, you are the only one with high enough passive perception. The chains have not been broken; they've been severed.
I
and
hope
they've
the
been
25 is high enough.
And they've been severed somewhat recently.
It's like cut.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It looks like not just cut; it looks like whatever cut it was heated. Like it was cut with like something either on fire or like something like that.
All right.
A dragon.
But you see,
we've all descended into the hole at this point, right?
yeah. So now that you're in there, there are two paths to your left, and one path to your right, and then one that's kind of behind you.
You don't remember which hallway you heard voices from, right?
It would be the path to your right, Goodfellow.
Yeah, I would say I would know. Do I recognize their accent?
No, you don't.
Okay. Okay. So a group of goblins I don't recognize.
All right. Let's go through the. No, sorry, two left, one right, one behind.
Yep.
Let's go through the one you heard voices from, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'll lead the charge, because if I get seen, I mean, I'm not gonna get seen, but if I do get seen, then
You're like, I'll lead the charge, but also I'm gonna make a stealth roll.
I mean, yes, because it's fine.
Okay, then I will lead the second charge,
Okay,
the scene charge.
but I'll
Do you
be
want stealth
scouting.
around?
I'm scouting.
Okay.
Stealth around.
I mean, I'd probably be trying to be stealthy.
Okay. So everybody who's stealthing, give me a stealth roll.
I'm not.
Average.
I've got a -1 and disadvantage. That's not gonna be good enough.
I have 26.
A 4.
Okay. So Goodfellow, you're able to deftly. You said you're going ahead.
Yes, I'm scouting.
Okay. So the cavern, the tunnel that you kind of like pass through, quickly goes from just like natural, like almost like dug out stone to like actual stone brickwork.
Mm-hmm.
And you enter almost like an atrium chamber almost. It's like a long rectangular chamber with a statue in the center. And there is rubble in here that you're able to quickly like kind of duck behind, and you see 5 goblins. Kind of like some of them are like trying to push sections of the statue to the side. There are sections of the rubble. Some of them are trying to move the statue, but the statue is made of it looks like black obsidian with that kind of kintsugi golden cracks throughout it. It looks like they're searching for something. But looking at them immediately, they do not look like natural Hellivalir goblins. They're definitely not fey goblins. Every single one of them, their eyes are kind of this. The eye sockets almost seem empty, save for this little pinprick of almost like an ember from a fire, just kind of floating in the empty socket. And each of them, at some point on their face or neck, have a brand in the shape of a hand.
Okay, I am going to take on that style of appearance.
Okay.
Is my sword glowing?
Your sword is Celestial Fiend or Undead.
Yeah.
No, your sword is not glowing. So as you disguise self to look like one and you go to stand up, you hear the clumping of boots from the cavern that you just came through. And you hear as Feyre, you go to kind of pull your sword to check to see if it's glowing, and don't realize how close you are to the cavern wall, and you kind of drag the tip of the blade along the stone, and it's
always happens to me.
It's
knocked over a bowl in a church at another time too.
Yeah.
Shattering its piece with its
Whatever.
It's very nails on a chalkboard, and all 5 of the goblins in this atrium whip around after hearing it. See you, good fellow. And one of them's like, "What are you doing? Go check him."
They see me?
Yeah, you have kind of disguised yourself and stood up as they were coming down the hallway. So they heard this noise, whipped around, and saw what to them just seems like another one of their people.
You heard? Sorry, you said something about boots. Were those Pharaohs on mine?
Those were fairs.
That was everybody else moving up the. Actually, it's a good point of order, because I always forget that Kira is also a rogue. What is her plus to stealth 7? Oh yeah. So Kira also kind of came into the room with you, kind of ducked behind one of the other sections of rubble. She did not pop up because she cannot disguise herself, but she does. She has Thrandir's longbow, and she has an arrow knocked, ready to go, just in case you need her to jump in.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'll go over there, and fake check it out.
Okay. Feyre, Thurbrus, and Halia, you see coming down the hallway towards you this very freakish looking goblin with empty eye sockets with these little embers burning in them, and a hand shaped brand on his face.
My sword is out.
I think my axe is also
I'm like,
out.
I don't say anything, but I'm like, calm the fuck down. I'm like, nothing to say. There's nothing over here. Maybe it was a rat or something.
We'd be able to take that in, right?
Yeah, I think you guys would kind of catch on. You guys have seen Goodfellow assume different forms before. Goodfellow, give me a deception roll.
Infamous snow rats. That is a 21.
Oh yeah, they rolled a 5. So again, there's a moment of silence where they're contemplating what you said, and then you hear, "All right, well, get back in here and get back to work."
Yep, of course. So I come back over, and they're looking for something, or they're like
Yeah,
trying to move
it seems like
statues and shit?
they're like searching around. There's not a lot of like furniture in this like room. There are some like banners hung on the wall, and the statue in the center, and then this rubble. And it seems like some of them are trying to like move the statue. Some of them are trying to push some of this rubble over. But it definitely, you get the vibe that they are searching for something.
Can I check out the statue? Is there something weird about it?
Sure. You step up, and it's that kind of thing where like the in the right when you enter the room, the ceiling is lower, and then it kind of like gets
Raises
taller
up.
as you get in to accommodate the height of the statue. The statue is like 15 feet tall.
Okay.
And it just almost touches the ceiling. The ceiling is probably like 20 feet. The statue looks very similar to that figure in the armor and the black robes that was leading the attack on Falinn-Dal.
Okay.
And with your passive perception, now that you've gotten a second to kind of like, you're not worried too much about like being spotted or anything. You kind of take a look around. The rubble that's in here, there was a previous like regular stone statue that had once stood in this statue's place that was then destroyed and replaced.
Okay. Can I tell what that statue was based off of the rubble? Or is it too far destroyed?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. You kind of look around, and at first you're not really seeing much. You're seeing like bits of like an arm or like a chest piece. But then you find what's left of the head of the statue, and it looks exactly like the figure of the Crimson Queen that you saw emblazoned on that mural where you fought the hag.
Okay, so whoever this guy is, he sees himself as better than the Wasn't the Crimson Queen like our bad guy though? She was bad, right?
As far as you know, she kind of led some kind of like conquest or war, and then Thurbrus saw her dead in the void.
I was going to ask if that was. I thought that was her. In the void, I had a vision of her dead. Well, dead and then not so dead with.
Yeah.
You said what color were her glowing eyes?
They were like a pale blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
She got like Witcher 3'd.
Oh, I was going to say night, White Walker eyes.
The whole scene was very much like when Ganon wakes up in Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't know if that's the name, but all right.
Yeah. Okay, so like when you say they're looking for something, do you mean as in like, does it look like they're trapped in here and they're looking for a way out, or does it look?
It doesn't
like
seem
they're
like
looking
it's
for like a
they don't seem
clue
like they're like frantic.
or
It seems
looters?
like give me a insight roll. What are the rest of you doing in the hallway now that Goodfellas
I got
is
a
kind of
7. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
one of
but
them
it's
dropped
annoying.
a contact and they're all helping him try and find
They're
it.
all. Better go to the bathroom to wash it off.
Well, I mean, I'm not stealthy at all, so I wouldn't continue unless combat was our plan.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't
And
continue
it seems
either.
like Goodfellows doing some manual labor for
Yeah,
help them with their own graves and whatnot.
I'm gonna stay put, and I'm sort of trying to gauge whether or not this is like normal behavior based off of the looks in like Thurbrus and Vanessa's characters' faces.
Yeah, it's definitely that kind of like, you get the feeling that this isn't, that they tend to wing it a lot. Like they definitely feel like they have control over the situation, but there's not a plan.
I definitely have control of situations.
Well, this has control over the situations.
As you guys are waiting in the hallway, or the tunnel, actually, Feyre, you're kind of standing there, sword in hand, waiting for any kind of signal. When in your mind, you hear the voice of Edeniel, who comes through and says, "Is everything all right? The teleportation circles went down, and I was out visiting my family in Malhalla, and I can't get back to the halls." And then the message ends.
Wait, she said that message to me?
Yeah.
You can't respond with sending, can you?
I believe you can.
You can just send another message.
I have sending, but I'm also.
Well, we all have sending with the brooches.
Are they sending brooches?
No, that was the other campaign.
Oh, that's the same. God damn it, Tyler! You gotta stop giving us
We haven't
brooches.
had those the whole time, have we?
What?
The sending brooches?
No, that was Arcadia.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought we had something in this.
No. It
I
was
have
just
a
you
sending stone that goes to a random. Oh, to Cleona. But that's it.
No, the brooches are just kind of like they're your essentially your badge. That's like, hey, I
Yeah,
work
they're
for
my
the
sheriff badge.
for the Green
Yeah,
Council.
slap your rats, bitch.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna start
offended.
going up to random prostitutes and showing them my Green Council badge.
Yeah, you can respond to the message. You just have a limit of 25 words.
Instead of telling her what happened, I'm gonna use my 25 words to send her a sex. I'm kidding.
Can you imagine? You're worried because your only way of getting back to your job and your new girlfriend has just gone offline and you have no news. You reach out and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
It's like a picture of boobs with like a Snapchat thing that just says "I'm okay," and that's it. Like nothing else.
That is some straight fuckboy behavior. That's like there's a fucking school shooting going on and you text your boyfriend and they respond with like, I might get shot later, but
I'm gonna shoot you too.
I would not. But I mean, I don't know what exactly I would tell her, but I would tell her, the gist of kind of what happened. The most. I don't fucking want to come up with 25 words.
You don't
She
have to
actually
come up with
just she actually
Be
just
like-
starts love bombing her, and attempts to gaslight her.
You can be like, took Void Scroll, went through portal, we're okay. Everybody attacked or something.
Exactly what he said. Miss you, stay safe.
okay.
Does that count as a word? More.
Okay.
Me when everything adds up to 25 words and he has to cut off the kiss at the end.
She hung up on you before you.
Goodfellow, what are you doing?
I'm gonna not go up to whoever's the leader, but a guy who seems like he doesn't really want to be here. I just be like, so, what are we looking for again?
So you say that, and doesn't stop what he's doing. He's trying to push over this piece of rubble that's much too big for him.
I'm helping him. I'm helping him while I do
Okay,
it.
give me an athletics roll.
12.
Okay. Together, yeah, you're able to move it enough that you can see the floor underneath it, and you see the floor here is stone tiles essentially. And you see he pulls out it's not a crowbar per se, but it's a very crude bar of metal that they're using as a crowbar, and tries to pry up the stone tile. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't move. Doesn't budge. And he just, without even looking at you, kind of moves on to the next piece of rubble and goes, "We're looking for the entrance."
Looking for the what?
Entrance. Alright, which means they haven't found their way in. Which means they go, ah, the entrance.
Stab.
As I go. And motion. Well, they can't really stealth, huh?
No.
I was gonna say make a bird whistle and we'll come in.
I guess I'll make a bird whistle and then I go incorporeal.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going ghost.
So as you guys kind of rush into the room, you watch as Goodfellow now has the bright blade out, and all of a sudden he like becomes like an apparition. Like he becomes semi-translucent, and like the color kind of very much like the energy within the Faneway kind of shifts between green and purple and blue. But his form is almost like more fey. Like the eyes still kind of glow that dull yellow glow, but they're now like compound, like almost insect eyes. All of his features are a lot more like angular. The ears are longer and more pointed, and he's got a set of like 4 dragonfly wings that kind of like flutter as he moves about, as he becomes incorporeal.
Did you see this?
Not what I fucking no. I'm just on drugs. You guys see me? Fucking Goodfellow lays on the ground and he just starts rolling.
He's foaming at the mouth.
He did like a slump.
Worst trip of his life.
So I'm gonna need all of you to roll initiative, and you guys are going to have a surprise for the first round.
$17.
9.
I don't have initiative advantage on initiative.
No. Or would you? I forget if that's a thing with the Sentinel Shield.
I don't
Yes.
think so. I think it's just advantage on perception. Oh no, and initiative. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought so. Uh, 13.
Okay.
Sarah got a 9 because she's so good.
Okay.
Maybe you should stop fucking
11.
banging on the walls with your
11.
sword and shit.
And I'm gonna move like here.
Pots and pans and it's like, Farah's here, Farah's here.
That's a 10. Okay. All right. Goodfellow, what was yours?
17.
17. All right. You're up first.
Alright, as I've used my bonus action to do so, I'm assuming that counts as... Okay. So then, in that case, I guess I'll just stab a guy. There's not much,
Okay. And you have advantage because
bonus
they're
action.
surprised, and so you get sneak attack.
Ah, well then. Fuck yeah. So the end of my next turn. Good to know. Does a 12 hit?
I don't think so.
No?
No, they have 15 AC. So
Terrible. Terrible. Alright, well, there goes that. Alright, that's my turn. Oh, well, hold on, I can, If I sink into the floor, does that count as, triggering attack opportunity? Yeah, right?
that would trigger. Well, they're surprised, so they can't act.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go 10 feet below to see if there's empty space below us, just to check.
Okay.
Right? Wait, hold on. Wait, when I'm in can I fly?
That's a good question. I don't think you can.
It doesn't
fly.
say I can. It just says you can move through creatures and solid objects as if they were difficult terrain. So does that mean I can like go through the ground, or do you mean objects is in?
I would say
like, I
that
can
you
walk
going through
boxes and doors.
you going through the ground is kind of the equivalent of like you kind of like wading through like mud or something. So you can go lower. You just can't go higher than the ground.
Okay, so I can't float up, but I can like sink into the ground.
Yeah,
Okay, so if I go 10 feet into the ground, is there like...
just solid stone.
Okay, then I'm going 10 feet back up.
Okay.
Alright, that was a good check. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Feyre got a 9, correct?
Yep.
What did Thurbrus get?
I am not sure.
You either got a 14 or an 11. It was one of those two
Oh, I
numbers.
did a 14.
14? Okay, so he would be next.
He's getting some water.
Good to know.
14
I haven't
hit.
healed since, or we haven't taken a rest since the last encounter.
Correct. Since you guys fought Thrandir.
I'm very fucked up, so thank God for those good berries.
You should eat more.
I can lay on hands you.
It would take... That would be nice, but...
You don't
Yeah,
do that.
but you'd have to get over here.
Well, no, but
The good berries, Tyler, is 1 HP a turn. Not useful. Out of combat, very good. In combat, not good.
So
You haven't taken any damage, have you?
Me? We haven't healed since last fight. And
Oh.
I took a lot of damage last fight. And then I remember I also fell down a hole.
Whose fault was that? You're a rogue. You have advantage on or proficiency in dex saves. Okay, good.
So
yeah, I can lay on hands after this fight is over.
Thurbrus, you're up next. You all watch as you kind of move in. You guys kind of move into the room. You watch Goodfellow take on this incorporeal form. You see him try and stab this goblin in front of him, who kind of like ducks beneath his blade. Do you come back up in the same spot or like a little bit away?
I should probably come up a little bit away, or else it looks weird. Because then it looks like I just kind of like bob my head up and down. Now instead I look like Rambo.
Okay, yeah.
Coming out of the ground with the bright blade in my mouth.
So you guys see him like go to stab this goblin, miss, and then just you see the wings flutter and he like sinks into the ground and disappears, and then ascends back up a little ways away out of the ground.
Literally like 10 feet, not even that far away. It has to be 10 feet. Because I'm at 10 feet down.
So, Thurbrus, you're up.
How many goblins? 5?
5, yep. I mean, technically 6, because Goodfellow's here, but he's not an enemy.
Hey!
If I were to run into the middle of them, how many would be within 5 feet of me?
You could probably get at least 3.
4 if
Can you make
me.
Yeah, I don't need to go too crazy. Can you make 3 Constitution saves?
Sure can. That is a 2. An 8. And a 19.
19 passes, but the other 2.
And 8.
An 8 does not pass. The other 2 are both going to take 5 radiant damage as I utter a word of radiance.
Gotcha. So you kind of rush in, slam Stormcall into the ground, and release a burst of radiant energy that damages them pretty decent amount. Then it would be Halia. You're up.
I think after everything that she has witnessed Goodfellow do, I think she's pretty convinced at this point that he's some sort of like forest creature, and she's just gonna follow whatever. I feel like she's pretty sure that he's connected to whatever she's supposed to be doing. So she's going to attack. So I'll run forward to the closest goblin.
Okay.
And I'm going to go into a rage. So I have to roll on my wild magic table, I think. That's every time I go into it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a okay, I rolled an 8. So a bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage and be. So I will choose, I guess, one of the goblins that Cerberus just damaged.
Gotcha. It's a con save, is that right?
Yes.
That is a 4.
Mm-mm. All right, so I'll roll a d6. Okay, so 4 damage to that goblin, and he's blinded until the start of my next turn.
Okay. So you shoot this light, this like blinding light out of your chest at him, and he only had 2 HP left. So it hits him. You see the skin starting from the brand begin to like char, and his skin and flesh just kind of blows away into ash, leaving a goblin skeleton behind that collapses to the ground. Very similar to what happened to the wolves.
I was gonna say that doesn't look like a normal goblin death, right?
No.
I think these goblins are weird goblins.
No way.
25 passive perception, baby. Nothing fucking gets past Cerberus.
So Kira's gonna go.
There's
She's
things
gonna.
unknown, it's seeing things and rocks.
She's gonna fire a longbow shot.
I still have to take my turn.
Oh right, you have a second attack.
I have 2 attacks. That was a wild
Oh,
magic.
the rage, right?
Because of my rage, which is a bonus action. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 attacks.
Barbarians are fucking sick, man.
Okay, that's going to be a 19 and then a natural 20, which becomes a 28.
Okay, yep, that hits.
Right. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, so I'll do the first one, because that's just regular damage.
Regular damage plus cold damage because you're raging. Because of the ring.
Yes. Okay. Oh, not great. 9 damage for the first attack.
Okay, you kill that goblin outright.
Okay.
Same thing.
And
You
then
bury your
I'm
axe
gonna-
in his chest, and his skin and musculature all turn to ash, and the skeleton collapses to the ground.
Sarah's looking impressed.
Okay, and then
Just
so
melt
Sarah's kind of nice.
What did you do?
because I crit, I roll 3d12. And then it would be 2d4, I think.
That's maxed out too, right?
Yeah.
That's
So the way we do crunchy crits. So instead of rolling like double the amount of dice, you take whatever the max would be for the dice. So you're using a great axe, so that's a d12, right?
Yeah.
So you would roll a d12 and add that to 12. So you're always doing at least one of the dice is maxed.
Mhm.
Same thing
Do
for
I max my
the cold damage as well.
d4?
Yeah. So it'd be 4 plus whatever you
So-
roll on the d4.
Okay, so
the brutal crit die is probably rolled though.
What was that?
it's gonna be
The brutal critical die is probably another rolled one though.
Yes.
Or is
Yeah,
that
I think
maxed out?
um, $39 damage.
Okay. So yeah, that's enough. So you all watch as Halia runs in, gets real mad and shoots a blinding light out of her chest that incinerates one of the goblins. Chops down one of them. And then there are 3 left. And we do cleave rules because I hate when you do something like that where you crit and do 39 damage, and a single goblin has 7 health, so you're wasting 32 damage. So all of the other 3 goblins were trying to push a big rock, so they're close to each other. So you rush up to the other 3 goblins, and you watch her hack these 3 goblins dead. All of the goblins in the room are now dead.
Slay!
Do they all turn into
Let's
skeletons?
go!
Oh yeah,
Or just
every single one of them.
huh? Okay.
Did you kill all 5 of them?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Barbarians are fucking sick, man.
I know. I want to play my shifter barbarian.
I'm excited for Al's thing after Strahd, because I'm doing a Ascended Monk Storm Herald Barbarian multi-class, so I can just go in and punch people with lightning damage, cause lightning damage to come in when I rage. And also I have a lightning breath weapon.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
The wild magic barbarian is kind of fun because you have to roll for wild magic, but pretty much everything on the table is done.
Oh yeah, it's so much better than the wild magic for a sorcerer.
Yeah.
You don't gotta worry about raging, and then all of a sudden you just have a big blue feather beard, and that's it. Or raging, and then you set off a fireball localized on yourself and kill half the party.
I've been playing a wild magic sorcerer for Baldur's Gate, and we did the Catholic fight, and I accidentally turned my whole party into Catholics.
I fucking hate the Ketheric fight. I hate it. The first part is okay. Once he becomes the Avatar of Miracle, I fucking hate that fight.
Yeah. It was extra hard because we were all cats with 1 HP for 3 or something rounds.
So, all of the goblins are dead. What are you doing?
Nice job.
Hold on. Damn, this wild magic table's fucking crazy. This is really good. Sorry, you can turn a great axe into light and throne? That can't be.
Yeah.
There's no stipulation for heavy weapons. What the fuck? And it changes its type to force damage? Jesus.
Number 2, you can just teleport.
Yeah, I saw that. You just have free Misty Step for a minute. And each creature of your choice within 30 feet takes 1d12 necrotic damage. This is I thought it was the sorcerer where it's kind of shitty, but this is really strong.
No, everything on there is really fucking good.
I want to search the bodies.
Okay.
I'm a loot hog.
Searching through them, all of them are traveling pretty light, and I mean they're skeletons now at this point too. All of their weapons are pretty crude, all made of a dark iron. But they all had short swords and little kind of shitty busted up wooden round shields. You do notice all of these skulls. It seems like where they had the brand on their face, the skull is charred in the same hand pattern, as if the heat had made its way all the way down to the bone.
Does this brand mean anything to me? Have I seen it before?
It's a good question. Give me a history roll.
You also have proficiency bonus times detect magic.
6.
6. You might have heard some stories, but it was more like stuff in passing that seemed kind of like not believable. So you don't really know too much about it.
I don't recognize any of this shit either, right?
No.
Is there anything else around the room?
Um,
Can I like take a look around?
give me
The statue's not a minute, right?
give me a perception roll. I pulled that trick twice. Wouldn't that be fun? Except this one's 15 feet tall.
My perception is a 21.
Okay.
27.
Okay. So you both see all the things that Goodfellow saw. The busted up statue that you both recognize as a depiction of the Crimson Queen, which was made of like regular stone and was destroyed at some point and replaced with this obsidian and gold statue of that same like armored and robed figure that you saw leading the attack on Falinn-Dal. There's no other real furniture in the room. There are like tattered like old banners hanging on the wall that they do have runes on them, but it's less words and more of like when you see runes used in like an arcane like formula or an arcane like magic circle. And Feyre, you recognize that it's 4 individual runes that each represent one of the 4 seasons.
Wasn't there? Oh. Wasn't in that village the 4 statues?
Yep. And the 4 like warriors or warlords that you saw in the mural that were alongside the Crimson Queen.
Motifs check out. There are no doors. Are there passageways in this room other
Yes.
than the one that we just came through?
So there is a doorway to your left, and then a very tight hallway with a door at the end directly behind the statue. And then to the right, kind of opposite that left-hand doorway, where there would be a door, there is like it's almost like a fountain that's kind of built into the wall. That seems like it's not like dried up, but there's water in the basin that's been frozen. And it's got like a carved almost like backsplash with that same kind of 4 season runes carved into it.
I'll go up to the fountain and unfreeze the water with shape water.
Okay. You unfreeze the water, and as you do, your passive perception is 25. You see there is a looks like almost like a metallic hook in the bottom of the basin, like attached to the basin, not just sitting there. You pull it, and you guys watch as the floor and the wall that Thurbrus is kind of like looking at the fountain rotates,
Like Scooby-Doo?
like straight Scooby-Doo.
With me on the
Yeah,
platform.
does
You
he-
on the
does-
platform.
He goes like, is there a monster on the other side?
No.
Is there like a ghost?
You are in a tight, like probably like 5 foot wide hallway, Thurbrus. To your right, you see just like a pile of rubble. It looks like the tunnel on that end has kind of caved in. But directly in front of you is a wooden door that is like slightly ajar. And then the hallway continues to your left.
Gotta start drawing this shit. This is a lot of hallways. Okay.
Gone now, right? We can't see him.
No.
The wall, like.
The whole wall rotates. Now it's just a flat wall.
We dropped in 2 paths to the left,
one path behind us, one to the right. We went to the right?
Yep.
Okay. And in the right, there's a big room. What's in the big room again?
The statue in the center. It's like a kind of a long rectangular room. On the left-hand side is a door that you guys didn't go in. Directly behind the statue is...
Sorry, what was the first thing again?
the left-hand side, there's a door.
Yep.
Directly behind the statue is a door. And then to the right is where
On
the
the
fountain
far
was.
end of the room.
Yeah.
And then the fountain is on the right-hand side.
Yep.
And past my fountain is a 5-foot hallway that is cut off on one end, and then what else?
It extends further on your left, and then right in front of you, directly across from the fountain, is a door that's slightly ajar.
Sorry. Tunnel with a door at the end of it. Cave in, another tunnel to my left.
Yes.
Let's see what mold earth does, because I might be able to remove all that rubble. Mold earth, that's it. We haven't leveled up, right?
No.
Okay, because I would have gotten stone shape. Portion of dirt or stone that I can see within my range and fits in a 5-foot cube. Is it of loose earth?
No, it seems like now that you've gotten close to it, it is multiple, like, big, probably like foot long, maybe like half a foot thick, like stone bricks that have fallen down from the ceiling. It seems like it's pretty deep, and it also seems like it was done intentionally.
I wouldn't be able to move that with mold earth.
Probably not. You might be able to, but it would take you some time.
I would take a whack at it, and I'd go up to the fountain and yell, "Hey guys, come on in! It's safe back here," and start to do some of the excavating.
Okay.
How are we gonna get over there if it flips?
We can't get in.
Well, I'm assuming that there's another fountain on the other side. No.
Nope. Flat wall.
Oh. Okay, then I'll go and push the hook and bring everybody with me.
Okay. So you take some time to bring everybody back and forth. It's literally like the fox and the chickens in the boat. It's like Thurber's this other thing, and then Feyre jumps on, and then turn around. So you guys are kind of cramped in this 5-foot wide hallway. Directly across from the fountain is a door that is slightly ajar. Thurber's is slowly making his way, trying to clear this rubble. The hallway extends further to the left.
I'll help him move the rubble. He's just doing it manually.
He's using, it seems like magic gloves that he's casting a spell through.
Can I try to
Sure. Give me
with my hand?
give me an athletics roll. What are Feyre and Goodfellow doing?
Sorry, one more time. I go through the fountain. At the end of this door, hallway, is a door that's ajar.
It's not even
To
a
my
hallway.
left.
It's literally the thing flips around and you are on one of the two. Like the hallway is 5 foot wide. You are on one of the
Okay.
side walls, and the door is directly across from it. Like you could flip the fountain around
okay.
and immediately walk through the door.
And then so there's a right and a left tunnel. Left tunnel not caved in, right tunnel caved in.
Correct.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Oh yeah. Like it speeds up the process tenfold with you just heaving these big chunks of brick out of the way.
I love that Tyler gives me a literal door that is open, and I'm like, I'm gonna excavate the tunnel. Fuck you, Tyler.
I'll sneak through the door.
Okay.
Or do we want to go in order?
Left, right, wrong.
over here redrawing the map that I already made. Which is fun for
You
me
can just
because
have it loop back to the other room.
I get to look at it at the end and be like, man, you guys were really wrong.
That's why I just gave you the map for
Yeah.
Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, kind of. The rectangular room goes the other way.
Oh. Alright. Now we remedy.
So, Goodfellow, you kind of slowly push the door a little bit open. There's nobody in there. It seems to be, or at one point have been, a blacksmith's, like, forge.
Stop!
And you're getting the feeling that this, at least this, like, section of this, like, dungeon, for lack of a better term, might have been, like, almost like a holdout. Almost like we need to fall back, we're gonna take refuge here where they can't find us, and we have the resources we need to survive for a bit and rearm and stuff. Because there is a full, like, forge built into the back wall. There's, like, a grindstone, there are weapon racks with, like, old, like, weapons hung on them. There's, like, a big set of bellows.
Alright.
With your passive, you're able to immediately pick out. There are like a couple sets of like smith's tools just kind of lying around in here. Most of the weapons that are like hanging around are either old and dull or like broken, but they all seem to be of elven make.
Okay. Elven or
Yeah.
of? Okay.
Definitely old style, but the design like motifs are there.
Do they all just seem like generic, like basic weaponry?
Yeah, most of them are just like there's a couple short swords, there's like a spear here and there. You can give me a perception check to like this is just you walking in and taking a cursory glance of the room. Just kind of standing in the middle and looking around.
Yeah. 10.
That's all you're really getting.
That's the lowest I can roll. Terrible.
Eventually, though, Thurberus and Halia, you kind of break through this pile of rubble, and you see that on the other side there's more like carved cavern. Like the bricks fade back into just like carved out rock of like the natural bit of the mountain here. It's hard to tell without like actually going further in though where it leads, but it does kind of curve in the direction towards where the elevator fell down.
Sorry, it leads toward where the elevator fell down. There's not any other paths connected to it.
It does split off. If you go like a little bit further down past where the rubble caved in, there is a path to the left-hand side that kind of like it's the only part of like this more hewn stone like part of this area that it seems to like dip down. Like it's at a decline, and you see that there is like bits of water on the ground that kind of trickle down.
Not frozen water.
No.
I'll unfreeze the other water and then freeze this one. It's gonna like Ant-Man explode the wall. Just watch. Sorry, describe it again. We're like busy trying to draw it because I cannot visualize this many tunnels.
It is a kind of antechamber that one of them, like as soon as you enter this kind of like not circular, it's kind of blobby, but there is a path that you can see leads into like the elevator chamber. and then there's a path that
Is that one
leads.
of the other? Is that one of the other pathways that we saw from the elevator chamber?
It seems like it would probably connect to one of those, yeah. And then there's a path that goes down to your left. That is the one that has the like water trickling out.
Okay, path to the left. Let's go down path to the left.
Okay. It ends in a small, like antechamber, still carved stone, where this water has kind of trickled down and gathered to be like maybe like 2 feet of water, like in the like along the edge and in the corner of this like almost like kidney bean shaped, like cave essentially.
Okay, more drawing. Kidney bean shaped cave. In what orientation?
Tyler, I'm telling you.
You gotta
It's
upload
like
a map, dude.
it's like this.
Okay. And
Um,
there's no other pathways.
No, it just ends in that little cave. Thurberus and Halia, you can give me a perception roll though, if you'd like.
I will absolutely do that.
Yeah. Mm.
Dude, thanks for digging a tunnel with me, Halia. I love
7.
rocks.
What was that?
7.
7. Okay.
I like
28.
Okay.
I literally cannot roll. I think the lowest that I can roll is like a 12.
So you find a couple things. There is a skeleton that is kind of like leaned against the wall opposite like where the water has gathered. It doesn't seem like a goblin. It definitely seems like it's normal like humanoid height. But it does like along the rib cage. It's hard to see at first because the rib cage is so segmented. But it does seem like it has a very similar like hand-shaped charring on the rib cage. It seems like it has like a kind of decaying old like satchel slung over its shoulder. It has a kind of old blunted short sword that's like lying next to its like outstretched hand. With a 28 Thurberus, you find next to it is a coil of long, kind of like decayed, unusable rope, but with a pretty well-made, looks almost like dwarven, like grappling hook. And then you see, like, because the ground here, it's stone, but there is like a layer of like dust, and like you immediately tell ash as well. And you can see like a trail where something was dropped by this figure and rolled down the decline into the water. And you kind of fish around in there, and you find the water's freezing. But you find a still corked and still good superior healing potion in the water.
And what's in the satchel?
In the satchel is most of it is like there's a few like bits of like hardtack. It looks like like travel rations. A small like knife, like the kind of stuff you would use like when you're like traveling light by yourself through the wilderness.
Okay, nothing crazy though.
And then folded up in one of the other pockets of the satchel is a it's probably like 3 foot by like maybe like 4 foot canvas tapestry.
All right.
It is if you could imagine gonna compare to Legend of Zelda again, like the tapestry from the beginning of like Breath of the Wild, that kind of like very like almost like primitive design motif, but you see very familiar depiction of the Crimson Queen, and then 4 figures. One is a female warrior, elven, with like pale skin, white hair, brandishing a sword. One is a
Sorry, say that again. You froze for us.
a female like elven warrior, white hair with a sword. One seems to be also a female elven figure in like almost like mage's robes, in shades of like orange and brown. One male elven figure in very minimal, like mostly shirtless with like a leather bandolier, with like a pauldron and like a green shoulder cape and like a big warhammer.
Elven male.
Yeah, every single one of them is like elven in like features. And then the final one, you don't see the actual face because they are wearing like black robes, very similar armor to the figure in black that attacked Falinn-Dal. But the armor itself in this depiction is gold, and they are wearing like a golden mask with like vague like skull kind of design to it. Which that would line up with like the statues you saw on Kalangayef, the one that was like you assumed associated with summer. That was just labeled as the lost one.
Okay.
Farah, you're kind of just like loitering in the hallway still.
No, I feel like I probably would have followed them.
Okay. So the 3 of you are in there. Goodfellow, you hear from back in the hallway the sound of like almost like a metal, like almost like a cage door or like a prison door kind of creak.
Okay.
And Halia, Thurbrus, and Feyre, you watch as the skeleton that's in that chamber, where its heart would be, a fire ignites, and very similar like embers light up in its eye sockets as it stands back up, and that's where we're going to end for tonight.
I had a feeling that thing was going to start moving, but I wanted to steal his shit first.
Yeah, so gonna have some undead fun next session.
We love the
I
undead.
hope it's over CR 1/2, because I could just instantly destroy it.
Halia kicked
Tyler
fucking
changing it
ass.
CR. Ha ha ha.
You killed all 5 of those goblins.
I know. I had to write down in my notebook like what happens just in case I crit, because there's so many things from all the different stuff I have, and then I crit. I was like, oh god.
Immediate.
I have a question. Would I have been considered speaking to them for over a minute?
Probably.
Okay. Because I wanted to make sure so I could get my I can mimic the speech patterns and accent of a creature that I hear speak for at least a minute,
Okay.
enabling me to pass myself off as a native speaker of a particular land, provided that you know the language.
Okay, so you'll have advantage if you try and
I
impersonate them again.
wanted to know if I could in the future blend in with these guys even better.
Yeah.
Which now I can.
So I don't think we have any bookkeeping to do. So we'll be back on Friday with another episode of Curse of Strahd. See what happened with Leon. And then as long as everything pans out, we'll be back again next Sunday with another episode of this, and we'll see what's
And
going on
perhaps-
in the Cage of the Blinded.
And perhaps even a session 0. But
yeah,
would we film that?
it's up to you. It's your campaign.
Doesn't really matter.
We will, for all of those watching, we will be starting at some point relatively soon. Shadow of the Dragon Queen, with Eduardo running it. So
That's tempting.
very excited. But I think that's it. So we will see all of you in the next one. It froze when you said bye-bye.
I mean, that's
Alright, hold on.
that's about how it goes.